The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below.
Welcome back to another game in this series between the 1927 Yankees and the 1961 Cleveland Indians. This is game 2 of the best of 5-game series here for series number 8 of the 1927 Yankees Gauntlet Challenge, with the 1927 Yankees currently leading the project, winning 5 series and losing 2. Your pitching matchup here for game 2 will be Gary Bell for the 1961 Cleveland Indians and Urban Shocker going for the 1927 New York Yankees. With that being said, lineups have been exchanged at home plate between the managers, and let's get to it with Earl Combs to lead things off here in the top half of the first inning. And just like last game, we start off with an experience microcheck. Or microchart check. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to roll the blue die again. And we get a 1. And it reads, do we have an icon pitcher? No, we don't. So that is going to be a men on base result. So that is going to be a men on base 5. And it's going to read a second and third situation. And according to my optional men on base narrative chart, homebrew optional men on base narrative chart, it reads either dot equals 2 hits or blank equals see multiple runners on base chart that is on the narrative chart below. So we're gonna head to the multiple runners on base chart, and it looks like we are gonna get a 5 out of that, and it reads that Earl Combs is gonna get a hit by pitch in 1 appearance, a single in his second appearance, and a runner's advance 2 bases single, and a stolen base in the third appearance. We move on to the men on base chart, and Mark Koenig lead it off of the men on base chart. Reading the black and blue dice as such of a 33. Scrapper hits single. Mark Koenig is a semi-scrapper. However, the decider die says no, he is not. So that is going to be a triple for Mark Koenig as he scores 2 runs, and the 1927 Yankees lead this game by a score of 2-0. And that'll bring up the Bambino, Babe Ruth, for his turn off of the men on base chart. 34. Slugger hits double. Babe Ruth is a slugger. My goodness. Sounding it on are the 1927 Yankees. The score is now 3-0. And immediately the pitching coach walks his way out to the mound along with the entire infield to see what they want to do with Lou Gehrig before he takes his turn up at the plate. And before he does, if you are just new to the channel, or if you just stumbled upon this video for whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm is all out of sorts, I humbly welcome you, and I'm so glad that you decided to click on this video to watch my content. So, but I also ask if you do like the content that you see, I ask that you kindly please subscribe to the channel for future content going out on this channel very soon. And with that being said, the umpire breaks up the mound visit, and Lou Gehrig is ready to step up to the plate off of the men on base chart. 14, Scrapper hits single. Lou Gehrig is not a scrapper. That's going to be a double, and unfortunately, that bullpen is going to get active as the 1927 Yankees score 4 runs early here in the first inning alone. And I don't think Gary Bell is going to last long enough in this ball game. And let's see what Cedric Durst can do off of the men on base chart. 33. Come on, Scrapper hits a single. Cedric Durst is a scrapper. Oh my gosh, no roll. We have a roll again chart. Excuse me, result. And man, oh man, is that not looking good for the 1961 Cleveland Indians, as we now have a first and third situation. And let's see what happens with Tony Lazzeri stepping up to the plate. 35, please. Control pitcher grounds out. No. Is going to walk the bases loaded. And folks, I think the 1927 Yankees may have just made up the 1961 Indians manager's mind. So, unfortunately for Mr. Gary Bell, he is not going to make it past the first inning. So, it seems that the Indians manager is on his way out to the pen, or excuse me, on his way out to the mound, and he's going to make a pitching change early here in the top half of the first. And we are going to take a quick timeout. And it cannot be hard enough for the 1961 Indians as they go to their pen early in this ball game, let alone this early in the first inning, as Dick Stigman will be the new pitcher coming out of the pen. And for Stigman, he's going to have fresh the entire game. he is the bullpen hero. And let's see how many innings that held, or not held, Bell would have gotten. He would have gotten 0 outs. Oh my God. He faced, I want to say, the entire lineup so far. Almost the entire lineup here in the first inning. It's 4-0 as Joe Duggan continues to bat for the Yankees off of the men on base chart. Or excuse me, off of the main chart. 2-3-4, and we're going to give Stigman the ace quality for this at bat. 2-3-4. Is the pitcher not fresh? Well, Stigman is fresh because he is the bullpen hero. Excuse me. Is Joe Duggan a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that is going to be, oh my gosh, 3 runs crossing home plate. And the 1927 Yankees take a 7-0 lead here in the first inning. Oh my goodness. And that is going to be a men on base result. -1 for black die if control. Yes. The decider die does not says that Stigman does not have control. So that is going to be a men on a mob 2 result, or a men on base 2 result of a 2 and a 3, which will be a walk for Joe Duggan and a balk off of my optional men on base narrative chart. that I have personally created for this series, for this project. And Pat Collins, I think every Yankee will bat around this inning, to my knowledge. Let's see if they do. 13, fresh relief pitcher. Well, lucky for Stigman, he is the relief pitcher, so that is going to be a pop out to finally end the top half of the first. And after one inning, it is 7-0 in favor of the 1927 Yankees, as the 1927 Yankees pound for 7 runs. They have batted around here in the first inning, knocked out Gary Bell, and now Urban Shocker it's his turn to see if he can hang on to this lead here. I think he will. Oh my gosh, with the way that this game's going, I think he may. I think the 1961 Indians are telling the Yankees, yeah, you know what, you take this game. We're going to try to throw as much as we can. But we head to the bottom half of the first, and we got a 2-3-4. Again, pitcher is fresh, is held a sad sack batter. He is not. That's going to be a men on base result, -1 for black die of control. And Urban Shocker has double control. So that is going to put the runner on first base with a 1 and a 2. It'll be a hit by pitch. And ouch, come on. You're leading 7-0, and you decide to hit the leadoff bat. Plunk the batter on a leadoff pitch. It's like, hey, don't be. He noticed that it was going to, that what they were doing, and it wasn't going to do it. So Bubba Phillips leads off the bottom half of the first on the men on base chart for the 1961 Indians. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 66. Scrapper hits single. Unfortunately, Bubba Phillips is not a scrapper, so that is going to be a double, and the runners are now on second and third for Johnny Temple. Oh, excuse me, score on doubles. I'm sorry. So it's not second and third. So the 1961 Indians do get on the board. It's 7-1. My mistake. I forgot that results from that column, from the second column off of the men on base chart, runners advance 2 bases and score on doubles. And the last batter hit a double. So it is now 7-1 still in favor of the 1927 Yankees. 35. Control pitcher gets the ground out. Well, it looks like Urban Shocker has double control, so he is going to sit perfectly well with that ground out. And after 1, the score is 7-1 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Here is Earl Combs to lead off the second for the 1927 Yanks. 1-1-3. Is Stigman a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Earl Combs a utility batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be an RBI question mark result. And oh my God. Oh my goodness. The runs will not stop as the 1927 Yankees do get the RBI. And let's see what the outcome is off of my RBI homebrew, RBI question mark, and our microchart RBI results narrative chart is. It'll be a hit, and we'll read the blue die of a 3, and it will be a RBI double for Earl Combs. And that's going to do it for the top half of the second. As the 1927 Yankees add on, it is now 8-1 as we head to the bottom half of the second. And it's still early in game 2. Oh my gosh, I should have picked a better starter. Oh well. Jim Pearsall will be the next batter. for the Cleveland Indians. 466. Is Shocker a workman pitcher? No. Is Pearsall a hero batter? No. So that's going to be a no runs result. As Pearsall, with a possible solo home run check, and Pearsall does not have the home run king or slugger quality. So that is going to be a no runs result of 6 to end the second inning here at the stadium with the score 1927 Yankees 8 and 1961 Cleveland Indians 1. Here we go now to Mark Koenig for his turn in the top half of the third. 266. Is Stigman a star pitcher? No. Is Mark Koenig a champion batter? Nuh-uh. So that's going to be a no runs result with a possible check of a solo home run. Mark Koenig, again, does not have home run king or slugger qualities. So that's going to be a no runs result of 6 to end the top half of the third. And we head to the bottom half of the third as Tito Francona will lead it off and try to get some runs going for the 1961 Indians. 555. So that is going to be an experience check. So we will roll this blue die here. And we got a 3. And it reads, do we have an icon batter? Tito Francona is a semi-icon. However, the decider die says he is not an icon. So that is going to be a no runs result of 5 blank to end the third inning. And the score remains 8-1, still in favor of the 1927 Yankees. I wonder if you Cleveland Guardians / Indians fans remember this stadium really well. This stadium was probably one of the worst stadiums to play a game at for baseball. I could be wrong, but any Cleveland fans out there remember this stadium pretty well. It was not a good stadium. All right, we go to the top half of the fourth, and Babe Ruth will lead things off. 145. Is Stigman an ace or dynamic pitcher? No, he is not. Is Babe Ruth a sad sack batter? No. That's going to be a man on base result. -1 for black die if flash. Dick Stigman does have semi-flash. However, the decider die says, nuh-uh, he does not have flash. So that is going to be putting the runners at the corners. Oh, actually, I forgot to switch to the top half of the fourth. And there we go. The runners will be on the corners and we will need to re-roll the decider die as it was used to determine if Stigman had flash or not. And it looks like Babe Ruth will pick up 2 hits off of my optional men on base narrative chart. And again, the way that this works is 1 or a 6 is a home run, 2 and a 5 is a single, 3 is a triple, and 4 is a double. And Babe Ruth gets to collect 2 hits. He'll get a 5 on a single and a 4 on a double. And that'll shift us to Lou Gehrig to roll off of the men on base chart. And the black and blue dice is such of a 55. So that way you guys can see it. There we are. It's a 55. Ooh, excuse me. Batting team dissonant or pitching team harmony. Unfortunately, the batting team is not dissonant and the pitching team is not harmony. That's going to be an RBI single. And the 1927 Yankees lead has gotten bigger. It is 9-1 in favor of the 1927 Cleveland Indians, as it will be a single and runners advance 2 bases An RBI single for Luke Gehrig. Oh my goodness. Here's Cedric Durst off the roll off of the men on base chart. 24, Goldfielder makes the out. Vic Power does not have gold, so that is going to be an error. Safe at first. And the 1927 Yanks has reached double digits, with the score being now 10-1 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. And unfortunately, we already got to the pen, so Dick Stigman has to keep at it here. As the Indians manager wants to have a restart rerun, but nope. Sorry, sir, but you need to play this game out as Tony Lazzeri looks to continue that role with a 25 iron field. Forget power out. There we go. Lazzeri's roll of a 25 off of the men on base chart reads iron fielder commits the error. Unfortunately for Willie Kirkland, he is not an iron, so that is going to be a ground out to end the fourth inning altogether and to stop the bleeding altogether. And your score heading into the bottom half of the fourth is 10-1 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Oh my God. The 1927 Yankees, just to remind the folks, in one video, which you can go check it out early on in this video series, or if you're just watching this as a single video, I will leave the game where the Yankees scored 19 runs in one game, and they're possibly well on their way to be scoring maybe 20-ish runs if they keep this up. But I'll leave a little pop-up on the right-hand corner of the screen so that way you can go check out that video, as this is well on its way to becoming maybe the second highest scoring affair or highest scoring game in this project. And it would seem that way, but we will see after John Romano. I almost said Jake Romano. John Romano takes his turn up at the plate against Urban Shocker. 2-2-6. Is Shocker an ace pitcher? No. Is Romano a utility batter? No. That's going to be an RBI. And look at this. RBI question mark. And the black die is a 6. And according to the rules of History Maker Baseball Express, when an RBI question mark result comes up and the black die is 6, the batter gets, instead of 1 RBI, gets 2 RBIs for his team. So now what we do is, for my narrative chart, as I'm collecting homebrew narrative charts, as I am collecting stats for this project, we're going to have to determine if both RBIs happen on the same at-bat or if they happen in separate. Dot is the same at-bat, or blank is separate. It'll happen in the same at-bat. So let's see what happens. What is the outcome? It'll be an error, so error, and it will occur in the infield. So by the catcher for the first start error, and by the pitcher in the second one. Oh my gosh. So the 1961 Indians get 2 runs out of that, courtesy of John Romano, I'll say 1 error and 2 RBIs by the catcher Romano And as the official score popped up on the screen and said, you know what, we're going to have to say that's an E2 and 2 RBIs for uh, John Romano, and the score remains 10-3 as we head to the top half of the fifth. Dice are really slippery. Anyway, top of the fifth, and Joe Duggan lead it off. 1-1-4. Is Stigman a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Duggan a champion batter? No, he is not. That's going to be a no runs result and a Bronx cheer from the Indians fans here at the stadium as the 1927 Yanks fall by the wayside here in the inning as they still lead this game by a score of 10-3. And we head to the bottom half of the fifth, and let's see if that pen is going for the 1927 Yankees, just in case if Urban Shocker decides to say, hey, if the manager wants to take me out, that's fine, but I'll do whatever he says. The bullpen is active. And it's not. So the manager and the bullpen are having faith in Urban Shocker to get through the fifth inning here. And let's see what happens. 255. Is Shocker a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Held a utility batter? Nope. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for Black Die of Flash. Urban Shocker does not have Flash. So that is going to be a runner on second base. Oh, and I forgot to switch to the bottom half of the fifth. There we go. Runner on second base, men on base result. And that is going to be a 2 and a 5. And Woody Held is going to be having a single and a stolen base for his appearance against Shocker. And we move on to Bubba Phillips facing off against Shocker off of the men on base chart. Again, I read the black and blue dice as such of a 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Pat Collins is not an iron fielder, so that is going to do it with a ground out to end the fifth inning. And the score remains 10-3 in game number 2 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Here's Earl Combs to lead off the sixth inning for the 1927 Yankees. 156. Is Stigman an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Earl Combs a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that is going to be a men on base result. -1 for Black Die of Flash. Stigman does have semi-flash. However, the decider die says he does not. So that is going to be a bases loaded situation here. And we're going to have to re-roll the decider die off of my homebrew optional men on base narrative chart to see what the result is. Dot is 3 hits. Blank is seeing the multiple runners on base chart. And it looks like Earl Combs will be collecting 3 hits. Yes, Earl Combs is the current batter. Yes. Okay. I just remembered Pat Collins got involved in the error check, or in the iron check, or excuse me, in the fielding check last half inning. So yeah, Earl Combs is correct. So Earl Combs will be collecting 3 hits. A 6 is a home run. Oh my gosh. Oh man, and that's going to be considered a solo home run as the bases were empty at that point. A 3 is a A 3 is a single. No, excuse me. 3 is a triple. I'm sorry. 3 is a triple. And 2 is going to be another single. Oh my gosh. This hitting parade by the 1927 Yankees will not stop. Oh, well, that's the way the dice is cast, as they always say. We move on to Mark Koenig's turn off of the men on base chart. Sorry. Reroll black die. There we go. 3, and it'll be. Actually, I'll reroll all the dice. As one got out. That's not fair. There we go. Reading the black and blue dice as such of a 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Unfortunately, Johnny Temple is not an iron fielder, and that's going to stop the bleeding. As the score is now 11-3 in favor of the 1927 Yankees here in Game 2 of this series. And Jim Pearsall will be the next batter in the bottom half of the sixth for the 1961 Cleveland Indians. 3-4-6. Is the pitcher not fresh? Well, again, we're in the semi-fresh innings, and Urban Shocker is fresh. So we move on to a hero batter check for Jim Pearsall, and it seems that he is not a hero. So that is going to be a no runs result, and since he does not have home run king or slugger qualities, no solo home run check, and Jim Pearsall is going to get a 3 dot on the no runs result, and that's going to end the sixth inning altogether here at the stadium. And we head to the seventh inning, finally here at the stadium, with the score for the 1927 Yankees and 1961 Indians of 11-3, with the 1927 Yankees in front. Here's the Bambino, Babe Ruth. 1-2-5. Is the pitcher not fresh? Well, again, Stigman is the bullpen hero, so he is fresh. Is Babe Ruth a champion batter? He's a semi-champion. The decider die says he is not. So that is going to be a no runs result of 2 dots. And that'll take us to the stretch with the score 1927 Yankees 11 and the 1961 Indians 3. And welcome back as the seventh inning stretch festivities have concluded, and Tito Francona will lead things off here in the bottom half of the seventh of what is already a blowout. 11-3 is the score, and we have a 2-3-6 struggler or gilded pitcher for Urban Shocker. No, he is not. Is Tito a sad sack batter? No, he is not. That's going to be an RBI question mark result. However, the decider die says no RBI, and it'll be a no runs result of 2 dots to end the seventh inning, as the 1927 Yankees still lead this ball game by a score of 11-3, and possibly taking into Game 3 with the possible elimination game here, as they will be up 2-0, and Lou Gehrig will head to the plate against Dick Stigman, the bullpen hero for the 1961 Cleveland Indians. 4-6-6. Is Stigman a workman pitcher? No. Actually, he is a semi-workman. The decider die says he is a workman. So that is going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment, and it looks like no adjustment needed for Lou Gehrig, and it will be a 4 with a runners on first and third, and a 4 and a 6. So we're going to re-roll the decider die to determine the outcome. And multiple runners on base, we'll read the red die 6, as it will be an error in a stolen base in one appearance, a walk in the second appearance, and a runner's advance 2 bases single and an RBI, and that will extend. Yes, that'll extend the Yankees' lead to 12-3. Already is the second highest scoring game in this project, with a total of 15 runs combined between the two clubs. Here's Cedric Durst to roll off of the men on base chart. 45, yes, reading the black and blue dice is such of a 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out, and yes, Dick Stigman is a fresh pitcher, as he is the bullpen hero. So that is going to be the end of the eighth, or excuse me, the end of the top half of the eighth, with the score now 12-3 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Vic Power will be the next batter up at the plate for the 1961 Cleveland Indians. Bump the tower there. 236 is Shocker a struggler, a gilded pitcher? No, he is not. Is Power a champion? Or excuse me, is he a sat sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be an RBI question mark result. And Vic Power does get the RBI, and it's now 12-4 in favor of the 1927 Yankees, and we will roll the decider die to determine the outcome of the RBI result. An error, it'll be held out in the outfield by the right fielder. And that will do it for the bottom half of the eighth. And we head to the ninth with the score 12-4 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Here's Tony Lazzeri to lead things off. 2-3-5. And I do apologize for the glare, but that is a 5. 2-3-5. Is Stigman a star pitcher? No, he is not. Is Tony Lazzeri a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result. -1 for black die of flash. Stigman does have flash. The decider die says semi-flash, I should say. The decider die says no, you do not have flash. So that is going to remain a runner, putting the runner on second. And it will be a 2 and a 5. It will be a single and a stolen base for Tony Lazzeri. And Joe Duggan will hit off of the men on base chart here in the top half of the ninth. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 56. Patient batter draws the walk. Unfortunately, Joe Duggan is not a patient batter. It'll be a contact result of a red die 6, and it will be a ground out to end the top half of the ninth. And Shocker is going to stay out there to go for the complete game, even though this game has already been wrapped up tight in a bow. And we don't want to waste the bullpen. And here in this game, we might as well save it, as Urban Shocker is going back out there to go for the complete game. And let's see what he can do with Willie Kirkland coming up to the plate. 5.66. There you can see it. 5.66 is Shocker a star pitcher. He is a star pitcher, and this nightmare of a game is over for the 1961 Cleveland Indians. Oh my goodness. So officially, this is now the second highest scoring game in this project so far, with a combined total of 16 runs. Or I would say this is tied at least, or excuse me, no, it will be at least the second highest scoring game here in this project, with a total of 16 runs scored in this game. And if you want to check out the highest scoring game, I will leave the video link in the description box below or in the top right hand corner of the screen. So again, your final here from Cleveland Municipal Stadium here for Game 2. Your final score as the 1927 Yankees put the 1961 Indians on the brink or the cusp of elimination with the final score of 12-4.